Today, we are tackling one of the biggest questions you can possibly ask, one that feels simple but actually breaks physics itself. What happened before the Big Bang? It's a journey to the very edge of time, and honestly, to the edge of imagination. So let's just put it out there. What was there before the beginning? It really sounds like a question that ought to have an answer, right? But the possibilities that modern physics is kicking around, well, they are stranger and way more unsettling than you might think. You see, here's the problem. When we try to run the clock backward on our expanding universe, all of our science, everything from general relativity to quantum mechanics, just stops working. The equations spit out infinities, which is basically a physicist's way of saying, yeah, we got nothing. We don't know. And that wall, it actually has a name. It's the central mystery that all of the wild theories we're about to dive into are trying to solve. It's called the singularity. This is it, the point where everything we know completely breaks down. An infinitely small, infinitely hot point that somehow contained all the matter and energy of the entire universe. It's less of a real description of a thing and more of a confession that our current physics has just hit a dead end. So let's explore some incredible theories that try to answer the question, what if the singularity never happened at all? Okay, so our first batch of theories completely throws out the idea of a single beginning. Instead, they suggest our universe is just the latest model in a very, very long line of cosmic cycles. The leading idea here is the Big Bounce. This comes from something called Loop Quantum Cosmology, which basically says that space itself is made of these tiny, fundamental loops. You physically cannot crush anything smaller than this limit. So imagine a previous universe collapsed. It didn't hit a singularity. It hit this physical roadblock. And at that insane density, gravity apparently flips and becomes repulsive, violently bouncing back to create our universe. So our Big Bang wasn't a beginning. It was more like a cosmic rebound. But then there's another, even stranger cyclic theory from the Nobel laureate Sir Roger Penrose. His idea isn't some violent explosion. It's more like a quiet, seamless transformation. He argues that trillions and trillions of years from now, our universe is going to be cold, empty, and contain only massless particles like photons. And for those particles, concepts like time and size become totally meaningless. So the infinitely large, cold end of one universe becomes mathematically identical to the infinitely small, hot beginning of the next one. It just transitions. And the implication of that is just chilling. The previous universe didn't just come before our Big Bang, it became our Big Bang. And get this, scientists are actually looking for evidence of this in the afterglow of creation, the cosmic microwave background. They're searching for weird anomalies called Hawking points, which would be like the ghostly scars left by black holes that evaporated in the universe before ours. So, we've gone from a universe born from the ashes of a previous one to maybe the most counterintuitive, mind-bending idea of all, a universe that popped into existence from absolutely nothing. How in the world can you get an entire universe for free without completely shattering the laws of physics, like, the conservation of energy? Well, the answer lies in some seriously bizarre cosmic counting. Here's the wild part. The total energy of the universe is zero. Yep, zero. You see, all the positive energy from all the matter and light is perfectly, and I mean perfectly, canceled out by all the negative energy from gravity. When you add it all up, the grand total is a big fat zero. And that means you can create a universe from nothing without ever technically breaking the rules. So how would that even work? Well, in quantum mechanics, nothing isn't really empty. The quantum vacuum is this chaotic sea of virtual particles constantly popping into and out of existence. The theory goes that a tiny bubble of space-time itself just randomly fluctuated into being. Now, it should have vanished instantly, but a random burst of hyperexpansion, something we call inflation, blew it up so fast that it locked it into reality. In this view, our whole universe exists simply because nothingness itself is fundamentally unstable. We're a statistical accident. All right, so we've gone from nothingness, and now we're going to travel to another dimension. This next idea is a wild one, and it comes straight out of M theory, which is a leading branch of string theory. To wrap your head around this, you have to picture our entire three-dimensional universe, every galaxy, every star, you, me, as existing on a vast, flat membrane. They call it a brane for short. Now, this brane isn't alone. It's floating in a higher dimensional space that we can't even perceive, something called the bulk. We are completely trapped on the surface of our brain, totally blind to this much vaster reality around us. And floating out there in that bulk, there are other branes, other universes. One version of this, called the ekpyrotic model, suggests that another one of these parallel universes drifted slowly, silently toward ours over an immense period of time. And then bam, the collision. Two infinite parallel universes smashing into each other. The incredible kinetic energy from that impact was instantly converted into all the matter and radiation of the Big Bang. In this model, the beginning of our universe was the catastrophic result of two unseen dimensions violently slamming together. Okay, we've had cyclic universes and colliding dimensions. We now arrive at what is maybe the most expansive, mind-boggling idea of all, that our universe isn't special. It's just one of an infinite number of others. This idea is called eternal inflation. It suggests that before our universe, there was this other kind of space-time called a false vacuum, this incredibly energetic, unstable state that's always expanding exponentially. Think of it like an infinite pot of boiling water. Our entire universe is just one tiny bubble of steam that formed when a little patch of that water cooled down. But, and this is the key part, outside our bubble, the water is still boiling, constantly creating new bubble universes forever and ever. Now let's combine that with string theory. Its mathematics don't just predict one kind of universe. No, they describe a landscape of possibilities, 10 to the power of 500 of them to be exact. That's a 1 followed by 500 zeros. Each of those possibilities could become its own bubble universe, and each one could have its own unique fundamental laws of physics. The consequence of this is almost impossible to really picture, but the main point is this. The overwhelming, vast majority of those possible universes would be born dead. Maybe gravity is a little stronger, and it collapses instantly. Maybe the nuclear force is a little weaker, and atoms can never form. They'd just be sterile, chaotic voids. So why is our universe so perfectly, exquisitely tuned for life? Well, the answer is as simple as it is kind of terrifying. We are here asking this question only because we just so happen to exist in one of the vanishingly rare bubbles where the math worked out. There's no grand design, we just won an incomprehensible cosmic lottery. So, when we ask what came before, there's no single answer. Instead, there's a whole menu of these mind-bending possibilities, and every single one of them forces us to consider that our reality might just be one tiny part of a cosmos that is infinitely larger, infinitely older, and infinitely stranger than we can ever truly know.